For basically all of human history, we've looked up at the stars, or, deep inside ourselves, and asked that one huge, huge question. It's the question that's kicked off philosophies, religions, and probably a billion late-night conversations. But what if the answer wasn't just in our heads? What if it was in our bodies too?
Right? What's it all about? What is the meaning of life? It's the ultimate question. And while it feels super personal, like something we all grapple with today, we've actually been trying to pin this down for a very, very long time.
In fact, get this, the very first time the exact phrase meaning of life shows up in English is way back in 1833 from the writer Thomas Carlyle. He kind of saw it as this tension between all the stuff we have to do to survive and the freedom we have to actually choose our own way. For a long, long time, though, questions like this were left to the poets and the philosophers.
But that's all changing. See, in the 21st century, a new player has entered the game, science. And it's bringing a completely different set of tools to try and tackle this ancient puzzle.
So, what's the difference here? Well, think about it like this. Philosophy uses logic and deep thought to wonder about the big picture. Science, on the other hand, it uses hard data and observation. It's not trying to find one single cosmic answer for everyone. Instead, it's looking for real, measurable clues about what makes a life feel meaningful to us as human beings.
And this is where things get really fascinating. We tend to think of meaning as, this abstract idea, this feeling that's just floating around in our minds. But could it actually have a physical impact on us? Can a sense of purpose literally change our health?
The answer, and this is pretty stunning, is a resounding yes. The connection between having a meaningful life and your physical health is one of the most exciting areas of research happening right now.
And we're not talking about vague wellness claims. We are talking about specific, peer-reviewed studies. Research has shown that a strong sense of meaning is linked to a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, a lower risk of heart attack, a lower risk of stroke, and even living longer. So let that sink in. Meaning isn't just good for the soul, it's literally good for your body.
I mean, that's a total game changer, right? If a sense of purpose can do all of that, we can't just leave it as this fuzzy philosophical thing. We need a way to break it down, a practical framework to really understand what it's made of.
And this is where researchers like Dr. Paul Wong come in. After tons of psychological research, he came up with a really simple but powerful model. It breaks a meaningful life down into 4 key parts. He calls it the PURE model.
Okay, so first up, P is for purpose. This is all about having goals that you actually care about, things you're working towards. It's your why. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. A great way to think about it is like setting a destination in your car's GPS. It gives your whole journey a direction.
Next, U is for understanding. This piece is about making sense of your own story, who you are, how you see the world working. It's about connecting the dots of your life, the good and the bad, so it all fits together into a story that makes sense to you. It's almost like having the user manual for your own life.
All right, let's get to R, which stands for responsibility. Now, this one is huge. It's about recognizing that you are in control. You get to choose your actions, your attitudes, and you own those choices. It's the difference between being the driver of your own car with your hands on the wheel versus just being a passenger who's along for the ride.
And finally, E is for enjoyment. This part is so important. A meaningful life isn't just about hard work and serious goals. It's also about finding fulfillment, appreciating the process. It's about actually enjoying the scenery on the journey, not just staring at the map, obsessed with the destination.
So there you have it. Purpose, understanding, responsibility, and enjoyment. That's the framework. But the real magic of this model is how it turns the whole search for meaning from a passive quest into an active project.
We can literally reframe this as a practical to-do list. Instead of sitting around waiting for meaning to strike you like lightning, you can work on it. You can actively define your purpose. You can seek understanding. You can embrace responsibility and cultivate enjoyment. See? These are all action words, things you can actually do.
And all of this leads to what might be the single biggest, most important takeaway from this whole scientific look at life's oldest question. Meaning isn't something you find, it's something you build. It's not a treasure hunt. You don't have to go climb a mountain to discover it. It's a construction project. And you're the architect.
So that leaves us with one last thought. Let's forget the giant, overwhelming question of the meaning of life for just a minute. And let's ask this instead. What's one small thing, one single brick you can lay down today to start building?